Hey guys, David Pingree here with my first Vital project build. Still working on a name for these, so if you've got a recommendation, go ahead and drop it in the comments below. We're still kind of sorting those out, so give us a good suggestion, we'll use it. This is a 2020 KTM 350. Awesome bikes. Some people for a while thought they were too niche-y and didn't have a place in the sport, but I'll tell you, those people haven't ridden one probably. If you've ever ridden one of these things, it's a really happy medium between maybe not quite enough and too much from the 250 and 450 offerings, and it's a really fun bike. So if you're a vet rider, if you just kind of like to ride and not so much into racing, or shoot, some guys just can actually go faster on this because they don't feel like they're hanging on for dear life like they would be on a 450. Either way, very cool bikes to work on. And this one, we kind of did some basic setup stuff for it to try to squeeze a little more performance out of it while keeping our reliability, which is a big thing for us because we put a lot of time on these bikes over the year. So we put a Vertex piston, high compression piston in this, a full FMF exhaust system, and we have a Vortex ignition that was mapped by Twisted Development. All those things might not seem like too much, but once you get the mapping dialed in and that little bit extra compression and the extra flow of the exhaust, man, it makes for big changes out on the track. The other big part of this build is we got rid of the air fork and the standard shock and we went to some WP Trax stuff. The WP guys actually relied on Race Tech to go through, revalve this, and just freshen it up. And those guys did an awesome job. Race Tech does a quality job of picking your weight, your skill level, and really matching the settings to you. And if you've ever tried these, it's basically very similar to a Showa A kit. So it's very high level stuff. And of course, setup is everything with these. These have been valved for Jay Clark, who kind of built this bike. But we got a sneaker ride on it today, and it's close enough that it still worked really well for me. So he's got Renthal bars, some ODI grips on here. The graphics were all done by Decal Works, and actually a pretty cool feature here. This is actually a new product from Decal Works. It clips right here onto either side of your bike and protects your graphics where they'd always get chewed up from your boots. So pretty neat. Check those out over at decalworks.com. And Super Sprock Sprocket, it's got a Faster USA hub and a wheel set. The guys at Faster USA do an awesome job, make a really solid quality wheel. You check those guys out. Hinson clutch, a full Hinson clutch in this thing, which is not always necessary unless you're building a lot of horsepower in, but it's just nice for reliability and a little bit better feel, a little bit more positive feel. Works connection added a lot of parts to this. The bar clamp, a lot of these caps, you can customize those with your number and stuff. They're pretty cool. Uni filter, and we've got UFO plastic on this thing with a Trubie skid guard. And Scar titanium foot pegs as well. It's another little feature on here we really like. Every time I get on these 350s, I forget how fun they are. It just kind of pushes you to ride it harder like a 250, but not so wide open like that. So you kind of find this happy medium where you can ride it aggressively, but it still makes way more power than a 250 does. So I noticed right away the power, really fun, really light and free feeling, and probably, I don't know, 10, 20% more power all the way across the board, all the way up the front side, more over rev, so just better everywhere. So just that little bit extra compression with the piston, the exhaust flowing, and the mapping it cleans it up. I mean, no hiccups, really good throttle response, and a really broad power. And then the suspension on that side of things, really plush initially. I always struggle, even though I like the air fork on these better than any other air fork, I still can't get that really plush initial feel that I want, and then the progressive firming as I go into the stroke. And it's like these guys, this isn't even set up for me, and right away I just really love the feel of it. The little chatter coming in, braking bumps, it just gobbles it up and then stays settled into the turn, and whether it's a rut or a berm, this thing just gets right around. So awesome job setting this stuff up, and they didn't even set it up for me, but it was comfortable. So that's a really good option if you're looking at that. The WP guys do a great job. And that's really all we did. It wasn't a whole lot of changes made to this thing, but it turned this bike into a really fun 450 killer vet machine, whatever you want to call it. So lots of fun. Great brakes on this thing as well. That's all stock. Hydraulic clutches stock, and all works awesome. So always stoked on these bikes, these KTM 350s, and we've just taken it up a notch and really turned it into a cool race bike. So thank you to the companies involved. Thanks to KTM for letting us build this project. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next Vital project.